Welcome into KSU Nation, the best K-State and Big 12 podcast out there. I'm Stevie B.
And I am Kenny G.
And in today's episode, we're going to be previewing K-State versus UCF, not Central Florida, UCF. I thought it was the same thing. Apparently not. Kenny, are you going to be at the game on Saturday?
No, I'm not.
Oh, well, I'll be there with my sister and my mom. I'm excited about it. Let's get right into our initial thoughts on the game. K-State is 1-3. UCF is 3-0. K-State somehow, some way, is favored by about a touchdown. Kenny, your initial thoughts on this game? Feels like a must-win for both teams.
For those who don't know, or couldn't even tell, my enthusiasm is like below rock bottom for this game. Which is about the same amount of enthusiasm that was given in the press conference by the head coach.
I agree.
It just seems like he is not happy with anything that's going on. Hey, what time does this game start?
11 a.m. Breakfast kickoff.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, yeah, I definitely won't be there for that. Yeah, I mean, look, K-State's favored. I honestly at this point don't understand why. No, what is it going to take for these people to realize that K-State is just not a good team this year? Why do they keep having them favored in every single game? It's so annoying. Because when you are the favorite, it just sets you up with disappointment. And I can't remember the last time that K-State wasn't the favorite. Must have been Texas Longhorns, like back in 2023. They were favored in almost every single game last year.
I think you're right. It had to have been Texas in 2023.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And it's just been disappointment after disappointment after disappointment.
I think Iowa State was a favorite last year at the end of the season. I think that was the first time since that Texas game.
Maybe so. Yeah, because it was at home, and yeah. Well, okay, so look, I don't understand. I'm not happy about this team. I really don't think that there is any chance. There has to be like a crazy revival for this team to even have a chance in the game. We're at home. It's technically the start of Big 12 play, even though we started it in Dublin, Ireland.
Never again, please. Never again.
And that was the biggest mistake that this program could have ever made. But hindsight's 2020. But honestly, though, I'm not excited for this game. I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be about 20 miles north. Detailing vehicles for extra money because I've got stuff that I want that costs money. So
are you gonna do it on the radio then? Sounds like
maybe. I don't know. I mean, I honestly.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't want to like be sitting there, scrubbing, and then I put a hole in the damn upholstery or whatever, because I'm scrubbing too hard out of frustration. It might be a dangerous thing to have me listen to the K-State game.
So I mean, like we don't have volleyball.
I mean, Steve, like, I want to ask you, like, is there any optimism at all? And if there is, where are you pointing that optimism from? Like, where do you look to for there to be any sort of like hope for this team to maybe even have an opportunity to win?
Okay, so that's a double-edged sword to answer your question. I think there is some optimism from the fact that K-State does have some pretty good players on offense. So far, it has not worked out well. I mean, you got a 4-star quarterback, you got a 4-star running back, you got a 5-star at tight end. Your best offensive player is your wide receiver. K-State has thrown 6 touchdowns, and I think 5 of them have gone to wide receivers. So the wide receiver room has been a lot better this year. Now they've dropped some balls, but in terms of how well the wide receivers have played compared to previous years, so far it's been a lot better. There has been some positive. I do think that Dylan Edwards should be back for a full go this game. We'll see about that. since he injured himself. He did injure himself, but the way it happened, it's there's been a lot of rumors about that. You know what I'm talking about, against Iowa State. There is optimism, and I want to talk about the scout for this game, because I texted it to you and you said you're going to get it to Chris Kleiman. In case you didn't get it to Kleiman, I'm going to put it out there in case someone else wants to get it to Kleiman. Okay. All right. UCF so far is 8 for 8 on fourth down this season. Their quarterback really is like a dual threat guy. Like, he is pretty good running the ball and passing the ball. 70% completion percentage, pretty fast on the edge. They do like to beat you with some short routes, some wide routes to the running backs and receivers until later in the game. Feels like, I mean, their head coach is a former quarterback, Scott Frost. You know, they try to get you with that early, so that way later in the game, you're thinking screen, or scat, whatever, to the running back, and they're going to beat you deep with a tight end down the sideline. Speaking of tight ends, they're pretty involved. I want to say that their tight ends have contributed to about 30% of their receptions, 30 or 40%. Their defense is good, not great. They have been getting beat a lot by wide receivers so far. They have played a pretty not great schedule. They barely beat Jacksonville State. North Carolina A&T might be the worst team I've ever seen. And we've come to find out that North Carolina is pretty bad as well. Their linebackers do struggle to get to the edge against faster running backs and quarterbacks. K-State's got a couple pretty fast ones. I got some more stats I'll go over later. But to answer questions, I do think K-State has enough talent-wise. They just have to figure out how to play together. The O-line is one of the worst in the entire country. Taylor Potier went from being a really good O-lineman to being terrible this year. I don't know why. I'm going to ask the same question to you, Kenny, that you asked me. I gave my answer, talent-wise. For you, is there any optimism about this team? It sounds like you don't have any.
Absolutely not. There's no optimism at all. Not in the slightest. You look, we went through 4 games already. 4 games. I've seen enough. Like, at this point, K-State has to show me something different for me to have any sort of, like, what do you want me to, like, I'm pulling a rabbit out of the hat at this point. If you're asking me, like, hey, like, you know, that they might have a chance. It's like, yeah, you know, I might run into Donald Trump at McDonald's. Like, I mean, it's like, you're saying this thing, but it's like highly unlikely just based on what they've already shown. Sure, they've got all these pieces, but nobody's showing their true potential. You just talked about Taylor Potier. Like, he's not doing anything that he used to do.
Terrible.
No, there's no chemistry. I feel like there's a huge lack of leadership. The coaching staff is lackluster. There's nobody in the locker room that's bringing this team together. It reminds me very much of very, very much like what happened last year on the basketball team when Jerome Tang had all these really good players, these amazing players, but they had horrible personalities and they did not mesh well at all. They were very immature and they just didn't put it together on the basketball. On paper, they looked incredible. And when they felt like putting it on, they turned it on. They looked amazing. They looked like world beaters out there. But that's the problem, is K-State's only shown like maybe one close game against Iowa State. And like, that was like a good third quarter. And then like another good third quarter in the North Dakota game. And then they've looked like absolute trash every single time after that. Now you're sitting there saying like, oh man, but these games are really close, Ken. No, these teams are not very good. And K-State is literally barely there. It's like they think that they could just kind of walk in and just kind of jog through the game.
Playing not to lose instead of playing to win.
There is literally no passion, no fire. I mean, you go look at, I sent you a video on Facebook, Steve, and I think Desert Devil is going to love this. It's like a little montage of Cam Scadaboo just going out to their practice field. He's just walking out to their practice field, and the cameraman's just sitting there, got it locked on him, and Cam just walks up to the camera. There's like 15 of these shots where he goes, "Woo!" Like every single time he's like walking out, and he's just fired up because he's in the NFL and he's excited to play football. I don't think there is a single person literally in that locker room that's doing that.
No,
K-State.
I will say there is a difference though, because he's trying to get on the field. That's a guy that's not a starter. He's trying to get some PT. He's showing up every single day to get onto the field. Whereas a lot of these college players, Avery, Dylan, Jace, whoever it is, which by the way, I feel like all three of those have played fine. It's been a lot of the defensive guys. Defense has been terrible. But a lot of these guys, they know they're starters. They know they're going to get on the field. Like you can't pull their scholarship. You can't trade them. Like it's a whole different world in a college football landscape than it is in an NFL landscape where guys are literally trying just to get onto the field or make a roster. So it's a whole different ball game, but I agree with you. I will say, I think K-State's going to have a pretty rowdy crowd. If you're looking at the attendance from last week, I don't know if we talked about this, Kenny. K-State did not play last week, but what I will say, you know who was the last in the entire Big 12 last week in terms of attendance? I'll give you one guess.
I have KU. I don't know.
KU, 40,320. Dead last in the Big 12.
Wow.
Number one was Colorado versus Wyoming, 53,000. I expect a sold out crowd on Saturday. Or close to a sold out crowd. I expect around 50,000 people at the game because K-State fans, we still care. The season can be turned around. K-State can go 8-0, get to Arlington. It can happen. Will it happen? Probably not. But K-State fans are still expecting greatness. Still expecting greatness.
Curtis, they can literally only get better at this point, right?
They have to.
They have there's no wiggle room anymore. And the thing is that when your back's up against the wall, I don't see this team performing. We saw what it was like last year when their back was against the wall. They didn't respond well. They lost to Houston, then they lost to Arizona State, then they lost to Iowa State. When this team's back is against the wall, nobody. Look, you even heard, like, did you hear his presser? Steve?
I did.
Remember when he was saying, like, yeah, some of the problem is getting, punched in the mouth and, just kind of being okay with it. That's our team, being punched in the mouth and not punching back. Wow. And he admitted it. And he said not just the players, but the coaches also.
Yep.
And he keeps mentioning, like, we can't go get, there's not like a free agency. We're not going to.
Sounds like he would change out a lot of guys and a lot of coaches if he could, but he can't.
It sounds like he's wanting to do that because he keeps mentioning it over and over again. Like, yeah, we can't get new coaches. We just have to figure it out. We have to simplify. We got to do this. They got to do that. And I'm like, wow, he's really bailing on this roster, which he should, because this is the worst K-State's ever done. Look, okay, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here, Steve. Okay,
because we got to get into the stats here real quick. But go ahead.
Okay, listen, this is my issue. Okay, if you were born after the year 1990, which is when I was born, this is the worst team that K-State has ever had in the first 4 weeks of football. The worst team, and you're probably saying to yourself, Ken, look, it's probably the players. You probably just don't have good talent. No, the thing is we actually do have good talent. It's not the talent issue. Oh, but okay, maybe it's not the talent issue. Maybe we can blame the coaching staff. Maybe your coaches aren't good. That's not it either, because Chris Klieman is a proven winner. He's a proven winner. Like, this is just weird. It's just weird. And that's why I'm frustrated. Because you can't really look at the situation and pinpoint like what the problem is. It's like the whole thing, and it doesn't make sense because everybody, coaches before the season, like the coach polling, K-State favored to win the Big 12. The media polling, K-State favored to win the Big 12. And then we go into the season and it's just been a dumpster fire. Everybody is so confused. Everybody's confused. They don't know what's going on. And you know what? Mistakes on special teams. The defense is lackluster. The offense has no imagination and Avery can't run. And for whatever reason, our offensive line literally has no idea what to do anymore. It is so bizarre and I can't figure it out. But at this point, it's like, It's a curse. It's a cursed season. And I feel so bad for Avery because, man, like, I don't think he deserves this because although like this is going to be the Avery era, and the Avery era is going to be known forever in the history books as the most disappointing era, the what could have been era. No, it definitely is. When you have missed expectations this hard, I mean, this is bad.
Kenny, you were touring during Josh Freeman first round draft pick quarterback days. That was a disappointing day. That guy was drafted in the first round. I don't think Avery's going to get drafted in the first round. That was a disappointing time. K-State did not go to a bowl game 2 out of 3 years. One bowl game we went to, we lost. Now, this is the worst start. I do agree with that. I do agree that Avery's expectations are insanely high. He's a Kansas kid. He's a 4-star kid. There's a bunch of other talent on his team.
No, but Josh Freeman going to the NFL is what it is. I mean,
but it does remind me a lot of Josh Freeman, both 4-star guys, highly recruited guys. I mean, K-State got Josh Freeman after he committed to Nebraska. Like, K-State fended off Oregon to get Avery, right? Like, they're very similar so far. They're very similar. Lots of passing yards, very talented runners as well. Hopefully, K-State can turn it around this season. If not, hopefully K-State can turn it around next season, because it feels like maybe this could be K-State could turn it around a little bit and then use that to springboard into 2026. Hopefully Avery comes back, Dylan, Lincoln, everyone else, Jace Brown. I don't think everyone will, but hopefully they do, because if you look at FSU, who went 2-10 last year, for all the talent they have, there was no talent issue there. So far, they figured it out this year. They have figured it out this year. Let's get right into the stats, man.
You might be right. You might be right. I just want, before we jump in really fast, I just want to say, if we don't turn this around, this is going to be a stain on the history of K-State football.
Yeah, I agree. No, I don't disagree with that at all. It will be a stain on the program for sure. Absolutely. Yep. Okay. All right. Let's move on here. We're going to get right into the stats for this game. I emailed them to you. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Where is this? No, hold on.
Let me guess. Somehow K-State's favorited, but we have like no advantage. I guarantee that's what it's going to look like.
Maybe if I can figure out how to share screen this. It looks different on here.
Oh my God, dude. I just looked at it.
Okay.
Hold on. My God, dude. We're 90th in scoring offense. 115 in total offense.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to pull this up. I don't know what's going on. Okay.
This is abysmal. Hey, at least we're 5th in penalties.
Well, it's not letting me pull it up, which is really frustrating. Let me see.
God, dude. Oh my God. We are among the worst.
No, I actually tweeted this, and I'm going to pull it up here in a minute. I figured it out finally. It's
fourth down defense, 122nd.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Now it's ready. K-State's among the bottom 6 in every single thing. Bottom 6. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to try to, let's see if I can. There we go. Is that better? That's a lot better. Here we go. Okay. UCF has the advantage, or a distinct advantage, everywhere except for their passing offense and getting sacks on defense and penalties. Outside of that, UCF has the advantage everywhere. Now, what I will say is this. UCF has played a pretty crappy schedule. K-State has already played a top 2 or 3 team in the Big 12. They've already played one of the top teams in the FCS. They've already played another conference game that was a non-conference game against Arizona, who's pretty decent this year. And then Army played the game of their lives. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, this is pretty bad. K-State, let me read this to you, Kenny, because I had to look up to see how bad how bad things are here, Kenny. And it's real bad. It's real bad. So K-State, only 3 Power 4 teams are worse in total offense than K-State. Only 3. K-State has 115th total offense. Only 5 Power 4 teams are worse on third down offense than K-State, who's 120th. Only 5 Power 4 teams are worse rushing the ball than K-State, who is 118th overall in the country. And only 6 Power 4 teams are worse defensively on fourth down than K-State, who is 122nd. Which, by the way, UCF is 8 for 8 on fourth down this season. What do you make of these stats here, Kenny? Because I've had time to look at them, dissect them, think about it. I have to laugh at this point because the stats are so bad on both sides of the ball. You almost have to laugh. You really do, because it's so embarrassing. It's laughable at this point.
And K-State is favored to win.
They are.
And you have hope that this team's going to turn it around.
It can happen. Will it happen? Probably not. But K-State has not been eliminated yet. Things could change. But they have to win Saturday.
This is horrible, dude. This is worse than KU last year.
Whoa, wait, hold on. I remember looking at the stats breakdown for K-State Houston last year. K-State lost that game. It looked about the same way, but the other way for K-State. They lost that game, but K-State had the advantage everywhere. And K-State lost. It can happen, dude. Yeah, I do agree. The Army game does really skew stats. It's a total anomaly. I agree. 100%. I agree across the board. Defensively, offensively, everything. Yeah, I agree.
That is just one game. We have 3 games worth of statistics here.
Yeah, I mean, it might make a 20 or 30 spot difference, but K-State's only in the top 50. And
yeah, if they don't play that game.
In 3 things. No. Just overall. Right now, K-State's only in the top 50 in 3 categories.
No, I'm just saying, you take away the Army game, it's not like these numbers are getting any better.
They do get better, but not a lot better. I mean, K-State had 44 yards of total offense in the first half against Arizona. K-State has not played K-State's not even played one good half of football since the Rutgers bowl game. K-State's not played a full good game of football since beating West Virginia on the road over a year ago.
What's the record in the last 8 games or something like that?
Okay, so K-State started 7-1 and they finished 9-4, and then this year we're 1-3. So 2-6.
Yeah. Wow.
2-6 in the last 8 games, and honestly, it should be 2-7 or 1-7. K-State should have lost that KU game.
Well, they should have been 0-8 because they should have lost that freaking
or I guess it would have been 3-6 because K-State did beat KU in the bowl game in North Dakota. So K-State should be 1-8 or 1-9 or something stupid like that. Do math right now.
Yeah. The end of the day, whenever that Houston game happened, that's when it all started. That was the downfall of K-State.
I agree. Ever since then, K-State has been broken. Anything else you want to say on this? I do have a couple things I want to say.
What can you say, Steve? I'm looking at this and all I see is
I'm going to add some context. I'm going to add some context, Kenny.
All I see is piss yellow all over the screen, and it's killing me, dude.
All right, let me add some context to this. Okay, so they ran roughly 160 plays for 3 games. They like to run the ball 60% of the time. The running back averages 15 touches per game and about 85 yards. Their quarterback likes to run about 7 times per game, only about 4 called runs. Others are scrambles. He does average 230 yards passing per game, 70% completion percentage, but only 1 TD passing average per game. Their top wide receiver is a 5'8" speedster named Dwayne Thomas, 12 catches, 148 yards, no touchdowns though. Tight ends have caught 2 out of their 3 TDs so far. How many touchdowns do you think tight ends have caught for K-State this year, Kenny? How many?
A goose egg.
0. 5 to wide receivers, 1 to Joe Jackson. That's it. 0 to tight ends after leading the nation like 12 or 14 last year. Insane. Jace Brown averaging 6 catches for 75 yards and almost 1 TD per game. K-State likes to run the ball 50, they like to pass the ball 56% of the time. Avery is has a 60% completion percentage. Joe Jackson, 4.5 yards per carry. Oakley, the tight end, is third on a team in reception. So that's a little context for you when looking at the stats. But yeah, it's not good, man. I mean, I expected UCF to have the advantage, but this is insane how big of an advantage they have.
So, remember I was telling you about the guy that, the old quarterback for K-State. What was his name? I was telling you, we were going
Jesse
over
Ertz.
Jesse Ertz. He talked about why, when he was observing the games last year, why the tight end touchdown plays were so available, and it was because the way that the scheme worked was DJ Giddens was such a threat in between the tackles that they had to make sure that was shut down, and then that opened up the tight end play, and that's why it worked so often and why we were ahead all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he said we don't have that threat in between the tackles anymore, so those little out routes that the tight ends were getting all last year, they're not there this year because we don't have a running offense. We have no rush offense. Our offensive line can't get off the ball, can't sustain blocks, can't pick up stunts, can't do anything. And so then what that does is that basically limits anything that we want to do with our tight ends, because they're like counting on it now. They say like, okay, well, they're not going to run the ball, so it's probably going to either go to the tight ends because their tight end room is stacked, and then they cover it for it. I mean, at this point, K-State's offense is so goddamn predictable that, like, a person like even Stevie Wonder can see it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think I was reading a tweet that was like the defensive players for Arizona said they knew everything that was happening or was coming before the ball was even snapped because of snap motion or formation or tendencies or what.
That's terrible, dude.
That's embarrassing.
That's just bad coaching.
K-State did not have one drive that was like a good drive where they went all the way down the field to score against Arizona. Their only touchdowns were off a block punt and a one-play touchdown by Jace Brown, which, by the way, Jace Brown better get the ball about 10 to 15 times per game this next game.
Oh, Desert Devil, you're absolutely freaking right. And this is what K-State was known for was, Desert Devil, you can't run the ball, you can't win. You can't run the ball, you can't win. And that's so true because that is what opens up your passing, is keeping the defenses honest. But if you don't have a run game, then they don't have to worry about anything. They just bring the house and then put pressure on the quarterback and, play man coverage on the other end.
And like we said, man, only 5 Power 4 teams are worse rushing the ball than K-State.
It's embarrassing. This is not K-State football. This is an embarrassment to the program and what K-State was always known for. And like at the very least, I mean, you could always count on K-State having solid dudes on the offensive line that could at least generate a decent rush offense. At least you could get that. We would never ever get the top, recruits for wide receiver. I mean, it was very rare to get that. But
the ones we got locked on, or there were 2 or 3 star guys that just ended up being good.
Well, and then you had the legacy recruits like Tyler Lockett, which his dad was, part of it. And yeah, exactly. Like you didn't get those. And, but what you always could count on with K-State was that we had the dudes up front that could generate at least a decent rushing offense. K-State has always been known. Ask any podcaster, ask anybody who's done any history on this league in the Big 12. They will always tell you what K-State has always been good at is running the ball and stopping the run. Those are the 2 things that K-State has always been good at, always, historically. And now Where are we sitting at? Rush offense, 118th. Rush defense, 108th. Embarrassing.
Absolutely embarrassing. Should we get into our picks and hot takes?
Yeah, let's get into it, Steve.
You sound like you want to go first. You sound like you want to go
Oh.
first. We might have a different pick here. We never talk about this before we go live. We hardly talk. I mean, we talk all the time, but we hardly talk about what we're going to say on the show. Kitty and I text and call every day.
We talk about everything except what we're going to talk about on the
podcast.
show. The only thing that we talk about before the podcast is, hey, we're going to do the podcast on this time. And that's about as far as it goes. So everything that you're hearing right now is literally off the dome. This is what
I'm hearing for the first time as well. Okay, Kenny. What's your score prediction? K-State, UCF, K-State favored by a touchdown.
Oh my God, dude. Well, you and I were correct in picking K-State to lose against Arizona 2 weeks ago. Look, K-State's going to lose again. I'm picking them to lose. I don't want to. It hurts me really bad, but they have not shown that they even cared to play the game of football this season. So I'm going to go ahead. K-State's going to get 3 touchdowns. We'll get UCF 4 touchdowns.
28-21 UCF.
Yep.
Sticking with K-State losing by 1 score again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
K-State has not only not looked good through 4 games. They've not covered the spread in 1 single game. It's changing this week, Kenny. I know it sounds crazy. K-State's going to win this game. I think K-State's figured something out over I'm having a hard time getting through this. K-State figured something out over the bye week. Hopefully. This is my heart saying this is not my head. My heart says K-State wins 34-24. My head says K-State loses, same as you, 28-21 or worse. So, but I'm going to go with a positive. K-State wins 34-24. Now let's get into our hot takes. The craziest stuff that's going to happen.
What would be good though is if they lost 21-24, a 3-point loss yet again,
which would be the 4th time in 5 games. Okay, hot takes. I'll go first. Dylan Edwards is back, baby. Over 100 total yards for Dylan Edwards. 2 touchdowns. Defensively, I think K-State's going to hold them to under 300 total yards. They're going to get maybe like 1 big punt return or kick return, or a special teams blunder, because K-State's been known for special teams blunders. We haven't even been talking about that. K-State's going to hold UCF to under 300 total yards defensively. Offensively, again, Dylan Edwards, 100 total yards, 2 touchdowns. That's my hot takes. Kenny, what's your hot takes? Sorry, my chair keeps making noise.
Give me a Lincoln Cure touchdown catch. And let's go with 2 turnovers. Forced turnovers.
Perfect.
Whether it be like a sack, fumble, or a pick or something like that.
Love it. Okay. All right. Well, that's our K-State versus UCF preview. Anything else you want to talk about? We're going to have a video come out tomorrow doing our Big 12 picks for week 5. We're actually going to record it here after this. Select few, and given the link to watch it. A select few.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, this is why you have to subscribe and be a part of this channel, because when we're live, then you can get all this stuff live and you don't have to wait for the video to come out.
Absolutely. So, well, I mean, we're doing it unlisted. It's only 2 people have I given a link to outside of you to watch. People that have been watching our channel forever. Desert Devil, Curtis Heidel, they deserve it. They deserve to watch our stuff live. Everyone else is coming out tomorrow, baby. Anything else you want to say about K-State versus UCF before we get out of here? K-State needs to win this game. They need to win it badly for themselves and for the fans.
Yeah, this one needs to be for the fans. No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I just need to see a massive change. My spirit is so low right now. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted trying to find reasons to be excited for this team. I'm exhausted by trying to be an apologist for this team. They don't.
Yeah, they don't deserve it.
There's no upside. You know, this is literally we're literally shooting in the dark, like hoping that we hit something, you know, because right now what we've seen so far has been a disaster. So whatever we see on Saturday, you know, obviously I'm hoping for the best, obviously, but you know, when your team has been just so down and out, like it's hard to be excited for this team. I mean, I was the most excited when the season started. I mean, I could not wait. And now I can't wait for basketball season.
I can't wait for the season to be over, honestly.
Yeah. That's where I'm at right now.
I've hardly even thought about the game. Normally every day I'm excited. You're texting me, dude, K-State plays this Saturday.
Yep.
It's not been that way.
I'd be begging you for those press box seats, man. I'd be like, come on, man, you're not using them. Let me have them. And now I'm like, dude, I'd rather go clean cars. Like that's where I'm at right now. I'd rather go spend my Saturday working.
Yep.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Crazy.
I was pumped, Desert Devil. I was, and it's heartbreaking. All right, are we doing the sign off that we normally do here?
We are.
Steve?
We are.
All right. Well, I mean, thank you guys so much for watching. Please go ahead, like and subscribe, and go Big 12 and go Cats.
Go Cats, baby. Get a win on Saturday.